Welcome back. We have some good information for you. So here's the $1,000,000 question. Can Iraq increase the value of their currency by 3 to 4,000% magically overnight? Let's talk about it. One of the things that you have to look at when you're trying to answer that question is Iraq, why did Iraq devalue their currency? Okay. Did they do it due to math and economic conditions? Or was it done as a security step and measure? Let's look at this article. This is an old article from May 22nd of 2003. Saddam winning out over dollar. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's just read this article real quick, and then we'll look at some key points in it and see what it has to say. So here's the article.
Saddam winning out over dollar. Iraq dinars bearing the former dictator's image soar in value against the dollar in recent days. May 22, 2003, 2:32 p.m. EDT by Chris Isidore, CNN/Money senior writer, New York, CNN/Money. The currency posting the biggest gains against the dollar in recent weeks isn't the euro or the yen, it's the Iraqi dinar, which bears a prominent picture of vanquished President Saddam Hussein. Reports from Baghdad say the dinar's value is soaring, reversing a slide that had accelerated during the war. The value of the Saddam dinar has more than doubled versus the dollar in recent weeks. The Baltimore Sun reported that 2 weeks ago $1 could buy nearly 2,000 dinars, but this past weekend a dollar was fetching just 750 to 1,100 dinars, the strongest the Iraqi currency has been since 1996, according to the paper. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution said a dollar was worth as much as 4,000 dinars during the fighting that began March 17 and essentially ended with the fall of Baghdad April 9. That compares with the estimated 950 dinars a dollar buys now, the newspaper reported, citing currency traders in Baghdad. That means the dollar has lost about half of its value against the narrowly traded dinar in recent weeks and about 3/4 of its value since its high during the war. That compares with the U.S. currency's slide of about 7% against the euro and nearly 3% versus the yen over the last month. The Atlanta newspaper said part of the change was due to the flood of U.S. dollars into Iraq from both looting of banks after the fall of Baghdad and spending by U.S. administrators, who recently paid some 1 million Iraqi government workers $20 apiece in U.S. currency. News reports estimated that up to $400 million in U.S. currency was taken by looters. In addition, the Iraq dinar is now scarce. Banks in Iraq that closed before the war have not reopened, and the Iraq Central Bank is flooded by broken pipes. The dinar is not convertible to other currencies on global markets, so it is difficult to track its value beyond anecdotal information such as news reports, said Ann Mills, a currency economist with Brown Brothers Harriman & Co. A non-convertible currency, particularly a minor non-convertible currency, is extraordinarily difficult to discuss because the market is not transparent, she said. You don't know who the buyers and sellers are, so if the currency moves, it's harder than normal to say why it moves. The news reports said the rise in the dinar has made Iraqis less willing to accept dollars. $20 is not enough for these people, Mohammed Jassin, 26, a trader at Al-Etimad Exchange in Baghdad, told the Journal-Constitution. And if the Americans pay again, the rates could come down even more. But there are more macroeconomic reasons for the sudden rise in the dinar, said Samir Zaid, emerging markets currency analyst for IDEA, an economic consultant in London. The most important is the expectation that international economic sanctions in place for 13 years could be lifted soon, and that oil exports soon could bring increased dollars. Lifting the sanctions by itself is going to move the economy, Zaid said. Iraq needs a lot of imports, and coupled with the resumption of oil exports, investments are going to pour into the country. All of this will strengthen the dinar. The UN Security Council voted Thursday to lift sanctions against Iraq after almost 13 years and give the United States and Britain authority to control the country until an elected government is in place. Click here for more. Zaid said the dinar was badly battered by years of war with Iran even before the start of sanctions following Iraq's 1990 invasion of Kuwait. The dinar's recent lows resulted from uncertainty about the war and what would follow. Now the traders are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, he said. Zaid said Iraq has two different currencies, the Saddam dinar and what is known as the Swiss dinar, used in the Kurd-controlled northern part of the country. The latter currency was not as badly battered over the past decade, he noted, adding there probably will be a push for a single currency soon. In Afghanistan it took about 1 year to have a new currency, he said. In Iraq it might be shorter because they do have oil, which could bring in foreign exchange. But the cornerstone of any new currency is not only to have a functioning economy but also a functioning government. This is going to take some time.
So now with this article, it didn't have any, when you listen to it, it wasn't telling you that Iraq had a bad economic conditions within their country. It talked about what it put a big emphasis on was the sanctions. Okay, kind of holding Iraq back, financial banking level restrictions, so their country couldn't move forward, and because they don't have this article told you they don't have a convertible currency. Okay, what this article is telling you is that the value of Iraq's currency was simply reduced by restrictions, not economic conditions. So what this article is telling you is when those restrictions are taken off, it reinstates back to its value. So this article confirms to you that Iraq is going to be doing a reinstatement. It's very clear. This was a very thorough article. So again, taking the restrictions off of Iraq, and the article stressed too how critical their political steps and move are to achieve political stability for all of this to even be able to happen. Very good article, guys, but this article confirms to all of us that this is nothing more than a reinstatement, and it clearly lets you know why their currency was devalued as precautionary steps. Okay, so there you guys go. Take care and have an amazing day.